take a moment to settle. Let your breath move gently without forcing it. Let your body arrive at its own pace. This is a soft space, a place where the truths you've carried quietly can finally be acknowledged. Feeling invisible often begins as a sensation in the body long before we ever find language for it. It can feel like a hollow space inside, a quiet void that doesn't seem to go away no matter what you do. And when you move through the world unseen, even your breath can become shallow, as if your body is trying to take up less space than it needs. There are so many moments in life that can shape this feeling. Maybe you've been in conversations where your words were overlooked, where you spoke, but it felt like no one really heard you. Maybe you were the one who held everything together, the steady one, the reliable one. And because you carried so much, no one thought to look back and check on you. Maybe you were the easy child, the one who didn't cause trouble, the one who learned early on that staying quiet kept the peace. Maybe you were praised for not needing anything, as if your lack of needs made you good or lovable or easier to be around. Or maybe you were talked over, dismissed, or brushed aside so many times that a part of you started to believe your presence didn't matter. When someone grows up unseen, they learn things they were never meant to learn. You might have learned that your needs don't matter, that you shouldn't take up space, that if you stay quiet, things stay calm, that no one is coming, so it's safer not to ask for anything at all. And for many of us, self-sufficiency became a survival skill, so deeply ingrained that asking for help now feels uncomfortable, even shameful, as if needing support means something is wrong with you. In adulthood, that feeling of being invisible doesn't disappear. It just changes shape. It can look like overthinking every interaction, replaying conversations in your mind because you're not sure if you were too much or not enough. It can feel like being a background character in your own life, watching things happen instead of feeling like you're part of them. It can show up in being the emotional anchor for everyone else, while no one seems to notice when you're the one who's tired. It can look like being so disconnected from your own wants that you don't even know what you need anymore. Or it can feel like you're observing your life from the outside, rather than living inside it. And underneath all of this, there is a quiet ache, a loneliness that's hard to name, a longing to be seen, truly seen, a confusion about why you feel this way, a shame that whispers that something must be wrong with you, an exhaustion from carrying so much for so long, and a deep, tender desire to be chosen, not for what you do, but simply for who you are. If no one has ever named this experience for you before, I want you to hear this clearly. There was never anything wrong with you. Children who grow up emotionally neglected often carry the belief that they are the problem, but your parents' or caretakers' inability to emotionally attune to you, to soothe you, to comfort you, that was never your fault. Your emotions were valid. It was always safe for you to feel them, even if the people around you didn't know how to hold them. It was okay to not be okay. It was okay to cry. It was okay to need comfort, softness, and presence. You adapted in the only ways you knew how. Learning that emotions were a weakness wasn't a flaw. It was a survival strategy. You carried shame that didn't belong to you, and that shame taught you to hide, to withdraw, to make yourself small so you wouldn't be judged or criticized or hurt again. And if no one has ever said this to you before, you don't have to be ashamed of who you are. There is nothing wrong with you. There never was. Now, I'd like for you to take a moment and just notice your breath. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to fix anything. Just let your body soften, even a little. And if you found yourself tearing up or if emotion is rising in your chest, that's okay. Sometimes when something true is finally named, the body responds before the mind does. Tears aren't a sign of weakness, they're a sign of release, a sign that something inside you is being acknowledged. You're not doing anything wrong by feeling. Let the words you've heard settle gently inside you. You don't need to make sense of them right now. You don't need to do anything with them. This is simply a moment to be with yourself, without pressure, without expectation, without needing to hold everything together. If it feels comfortable, allow your shoulders to drop. Let your jaw loosen. Let your breath move at its own pace. You're allowed to rest here for a moment. You're allowed to just be. When you've spent years feeling unseen, your nervous system learns to protect you in ways that don't always make sense from the outside. You begin to dim yourself, not because you want to disappear, but because disappearing once kept you safe. When the people who were supposed to notice you didn't, when your emotions were met with criticism instead of comfort, when your needs were treated as burdens or inconveniences, your body learned to survive by becoming smaller, quieter, easier, and over time, that becomes a way of being. Feeling invisible isn't a personal flaw. It's an adaptation, a wise protective response to environments that didn't know how to hold you. You learn to read the room before you read yourself. You learn to anticipate others' needs before you even recognized your own. You learn to stay calm, composed, and self-sufficient because that was the only way to keep the peace. And the truth is, you didn't disappear. You were never gone. You simply learned to move through the world in ways that kept you from being hurt. This is why invisibility can feel so confusing in adulthood. Part of you longs to be seen, deeply, fully, without conditions. And another part of you is terrified of it because being seen once meant being judged, misunderstood, or shamed. So you hover in this quiet, in-between space, wanting connection but fearing exposure, wanting to be known but unsure if it's safe, wanting to take up space but feeling guilty when you do. None of this means you're broken. It means you adapted beautifully to circumstances that never should have required that level of strength from you. And the ache you feel now, that longing, that exhaustion, that sense of being on the outside of your own life, isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that the part of you who learned to disappear is tired. It's a sign that a deeper truth inside you is ready to be acknowledged. You were never meant to live unseen. You were meant to exist in the light of your own presence. You didn't fail. You adapted. You learned to survive in environments that didn't know how to see you, and that adaptation was an act of strength. not weakness. But you're not in those environments anymore, and the strategies that once protected you may now feel heavy or lonely or limiting, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because a deeper truth inside you is ready to be acknowledged. The truth is, you were never meant to disappear. You were meant to exist in the fullness of your presence. You're allowed to take up a little more space now, even if it's just inside your own awareness. You're allowed to have needs. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to be held, supported, and understood. Being seen doesn't have to mean being exposed. It can mean being recognized by you, gently, safely, at your own pace. The part of you that feels invisible isn't broken. It's tired. It's longing for warmth, for acknowledgement, for a place to rest. And you can offer that to yourself now, not all at once, not in a dramatic way, just in small, quiet moments where you let yourself exist without shrinking. You are not too much. You are not enough. You are not invisible. You are unfolding, and the world is allowed to meet you slowly, softly, as you do. Thank you for spending this time with yourself and for allowing these truths to settle in your body in whatever way they needed to. You don't have to rush out of this moment. You don't have to make sense of everything right away. Just know that you're allowed to move gently at your own pace. Your healing doesn't follow a schedule. Your timing is allowed to be soft. Wherever you go next, carry this with you. Honor your quiet truths. They're guiding you home. Take one more slow breath, and as you move back into your day, remember, you're allowed to be exactly who you are, one soft moment at a time.